Lifting family, welcome back. This is no plug of C4, and this is not becoming Stone Cold Steve Austin if you were actually using energy drinks. This is becoming Chuck Norris, and today is where we dive into the diet side of things. And today is also letting you know that yesterday was my 36th birthday, so maybe this is an approach to a midlife crisis. Let's dive into the diet. And so what I'm going to basically be opening up right now is I'm going to be opening up my MyFitnessPal, and that is going to be showing you what I eat in a day, and then my kind of like a layout or a plan in terms of not necessarily to give you a layout or design of how to do this, but just how I'm going about this. And I tend to try to eat a little bit more restrictive when I am focused on a diet because it becomes very, very easy for me to get off track. In terms of my breakfast, that is normally 4 hard-boiled eggs. I could pan fry them if I wanted to, but usually in the mornings as my family is getting ready, we are really pressing for time. So having hard-boiled eggs in the morning is more convenient for me, and I end up doing that at work. That's why you see the presentation as you do. I think that food presentation is a major portion of why some things will look great and other things will just look like a bagged lunch or a sack lunch. And it ends up being about 2 cut apples that I end up eating for breakfast. That ends up where I am at around 575 calories because I also have a protein shake just to get my protein content up there a little bit. And that is normally 1 scoop of some sort of protein where I like the flavor. I've been using the Gym JYM one in the past because it was on sale. I recently picked up the MTS Whey, the cookies and cream. So I normally mix that with a little bit of ice and then some almond milk, some unsweetened vanilla almond milk, and I'll put that together in a shake so that ends up being breakfast, and that is factored at about 575 calories. And then we move on to lunch. So lunch is another one where, again, I try to eat, I like bulk, but at the same time, I also try to keep it fairly simple. So I normally grill my chicken, and then I'll try to portion that out so that it's about 4 ounces in each container as I bring it to work. The grilled flavor really just kind of brings out a nice flavor, and I don't really have to add a bunch of spices to it. So it's normally 4 ounces of grilled chicken, and then I kind of like a mix of vegetables. So sometimes it'll be broccoli and maybe mushrooms. Sometimes it'll be what I've got, which is carrots, celery, and onions. And those are just basically pan fried. And so there's no real, so other than putting some sort of non-stick cooking spray in a pan and then frying them up with usually like a little bit of garlic is how I do that. Garlic, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. That's normally how I end up laying that out. And that normally is about 300 grams in total. I just mix them all together and then weigh out about 300 grams. Also, usually have a little bit of fruit, so we bought the little tangelos or whatever they're called, the little mini oranges. So I usually have 2 of those, and then I normally put oil on top of my vegetables when I'm done. So rather than cooking with them, especially because certain oils just don't really cook well because they have such they have a lower smoking point, especially like with extra virgin olive oil. That something has a low smoke point. So if you're going to try to really get the health benefits out of that, then you'd probably want to either cook on a lower setting or just use it on top. The big thing that I don't like when you use oil is that it does cook into the food, which is kind of nice, but then there's some residual oil that's left in the pan. I'm not really sure how much is left in that pan, but at the same time, if I'm counting those calories, I want all of those calories. So that's normally why I drizzle a little bit on top when I am done with the food, and then I'm just basically prepping up my plate for the day. And then I'll normally add a can of unsalted green beans into that as well. Just again for bulk. So then lunch ends up being about 500 calories in total, and then we move on to dinner. This is where it's really become something that I'm trying to get a little more focused on being able to just be a little bit more lenient. Now, I said that when I started this, I said that I eat fairly clean, fairly restrictive, but for dinner, that's normally when my family gets to sit together, or we try to anyways. So I've been doing my best to try to make sure that I'm eating what is there and then what my family wants to eat, and I'll just try to have a smaller portion of that. And as far as the day went, it ended up just being 2 sandwiches. So that was just whatever bread was available. Some lunch meat, so it was just a lean lunch meat. This was 4 slices of bread, 2 slices of Kobe Jack cheese, and then 6 ounces of a lean turkey breast. And then just a little bit of mustard on there for something. And that total was actually 530 calories. A decent portion of that was actually from the bread, 240 calories from the bread alone. And then we move on to dessert. So dessert is generally my favorite meal of the day. And so with that, I was trying to think of something that would be appetizing, but would also be more along the lines of what I've been seeing a ton of, which are outright bar commercials. So props to Mark Lowbladder on that one. But at the same time, that's something where it's good that the marketing is doing what it's supposed to do, which is you see it every day and it starts to become part of what you think is going to be your process for the day, which is just eating outright bars. So I had actually found some flapjacked pancake mix, protein pancake mix on sale at the local home goods store. So I picked up a couple bags of that. And so that calorie total was actually 610 calories. A lot of that came from the flapjack mix, which is basically a mix of carbs and then protein, and then the almond butter as well. Overall, that day landed at where I had about 84 calories left in the day. And normally I like to be somewhere between 0 to 50 calories remaining, but I wasn't really going to try to nitpick in terms of my diet. I probably could have added in another little halo orange, but at the same time I was feeling pretty good. So that's what I stuck with. So that's really the layout for the day. Outside of that, click that thumbs up if you like this video. Comment below if you have any questions. Do click that subscribe button and also turn on notifications. Outside of that, thank you for watching, and as always, keep pushing.